Happy Friday and welcome to another exciting episode of Smell the Coffee. I am your host, Aina Raizakoyo, alongside Diana Master. We will be entertaining you with the hottest topics that are currently trending. I almost said training. That are currently trending and so much more. Today we will be discussing it girls. What does it mean to be an it girl? In my era, Bonang was an it girl. In my era, yes, Nomza Mombata was an it girl, Mini Dlamini, Pearl Tusi. I don't know, in Namibia it wasn't really a thing, but like in the South African entertainment industry and Hollywood and Nollywood, this was a huge thing. So basically an it girl is somebody who is just on top of their game. It's somebody who has influence, fame, maybe money, but not necessarily, and someone with like a huge following, a social circle. We could say an it girl is a socialite, somebody who is getting all endorsements, all gigs. They are just everywhere.
I was about to say, right, not necessarily in my era, but because I grew up with millennials, so in a way that kind of became my era, even though I am Gen Z. But back then, the it girls were the Paris Hiltons, the Nicole Richies, because my sister used to love watching The Simple Life with Paris Hilton.
The Osbournes, Kelly Osbourne.
The Osbournes were also quite big, but back then, right, these people were it girls because of the things that they actually did. They were known for something. Nowadays with influencers, like I could just decide, you know what, I'm going to be an influencer today. All of a sudden I'm getting brand endorsements and all of these things.
Influencing is a career now.
It's a career now. And you know, times have changed. We've really come a long way. But for me, I'm not necessarily a fan of influencers because, for example, right, you find today I'm endorsed by, let's say, Fenty Beauty. And I'm going on and on about, oh my goodness, their skin products are amazing. And then 2 months from now, L'Oreal is now endorsing me. And I'm like, yeah, no, you see my skin is like this because of L'Oreal. So now people are like, what is, like, what is actually, you know, the product that you're using? What is making your skin look like that? Because now we don't know. And most of the times, these influencers are telling us and selling us these things, but they're not even using that for their skin.
Yes.
You know, and now you're using it wondering, why isn't my skin looking like that? It's just like with fitfluencers as well. They'll tell you, do a 10-minute ab workout, you're going to get abs.
Nah, fam.
It's not going to work like that. Sister girl, you need to be in the gym. You need to work out. You know, and I found out this one fitfluencer, she had all these YouTube videos, 10-minute ab workout, 10-minute no equipment arm workout. How are you going to tone your arms without any equipment? I know you can do the body weight, but this girl was literally making us do stretches. Only for us to find out she was in the gym 7 days a week.
Who are the it girls now?
Who are the it girls? I wonder. I don't have any it girls, I would say.
Really?
Because, like I said, it's all based off of clout, how people hype you up.
You're not really an it girl.
Not for me.
I don't know her. An it girl.
No, not for me. Not any. Not to throw shade or anything.
Uncle Waffles is an it girl.
But you see, for you, not for me, because I don't relate to these people. You know, so.
And in Hollywood, you also don't relate.
Rihanna is my it girl.
Rihanna is an it. But no, Rihanna's era has passed.
She's still in her era.
Nah,
she became an it girl when she became pregnant right after giving birth.
Beyonce, their era has passed. Like now, I don't know of any Americans now who are it girls.
Exactly, because now everyone is just an it girl. As long as I
can
have
tell
followers.
You who are it girls in Namibia now. Puku is an it girl.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Puku is. Who else? Miss Gideon is an it girl. Miss Gideon is a proper it girl. Yeah, the rest
we'll have a discussion. We'll have a discussion. We'll be back with our top stories right after this break.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouth-watering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure.
Now getting into our first story this morning, Woolies launches probe after shopper shares a video of mouse packaged with free-range chicken. During a visit to the Woolies branch in Gardens Shopping Centre, TikToker Teboshale made a recording of the rodent in the frozen food section. For a touch of comic relief, she added the theme song from animated movie Ratatouille. After the post was seen on Twitter, Woolworths responded, "We have launched an in-depth investigation into the incident. Senior management have visited the site to assess the situation, and an independent auditor will verify our findings. In the immediate term, the store is undergoing a forensic deep clean. Our values underpin our commitment to the well-being of our customers and people. Your trust in Woolies is supremely important, and we are taking every measure to ensure this never happens again."
My trust in Woolies has dropped. They need to reduce their prices also. That's that. How can you as Woolies
have a rat in the chicken?
Nah, fam, it's not giving.
Like, I mean,
Woolies, put everything on sale. That's the least you could do to apologize to us, your customers. Put everything on sale.
No, but then now who's going to want to buy it? Because now you have rodents running around in the food.
That's why I'm saying my trust in Woolies has
gone.
dropped. Now, for them to bring back the trust, they must put everything on sale.
So that you go buy them.
So that we can go and buy them.
And check if there are no rodents in the food.
Yes.
And then you can tell everyone else, no, it's safe to eat.
They must apologize properly with sale. That's how you apologize.
And you know, the thing is,
you
with
cannot
chicken,
just put out a statement saying forensic. Forensic what? We are not coming back tomorrow. How can you have, you should have checked your packages. Yes, already, because you are Woolworths. You are now above everyone else. Now,
I mean, it's like $95 for 4 drumsticks. And there's a rodent. I guess it's 5 pieces of meat in there now with the rodent. Because, you know, the thing is with chicken is also very dangerous. People could get salmonella. It's already...
How did the rat come on? What?
And is it the only rat?
It's not the only rat. You know,
they probably have an infestation.
Rats walk with their families. There are like 1,000 of them there. When you see one, you can detect
you know
others.
There's somewhere.
Yes, it's like flies.
Else.
When you see one,
you know. Woolies, do better, please.
Put everything on sale.
For Aina's sake.
Yes.
Because Aina is an influencer.
Yes.
So she could actually...
I can come and do a nice campaign for you there with your sale.
Let's get into our next story.
Moving on. Acting Hardap Police Commissioner Hesina Nel confirmed that Chief Inspector Michael Edwin Bierkes shot and killed his wife, Johanna Cecilia Bierkes, who was 37, in a church in Marienthal yesterday afternoon after he returned to his home and allegedly took his own life.
Oh, no.
So now 2 people are dead.
And he shot her in church.
Shot in church.
Yo.
What goes on in your mind?
In all honesty, it goes back to that discussion we had that one fateful day about men actually going for therapy. Men need to go for therapy because they're told to bottle up all these feelings and keep them in.
Yes.
And then in the end, it explodes and we have situations like this. There was probably some underlying issue
that they
had or he had with himself,
but never, you know, spoke openly about it with the person. But if you don't speak out, no one can help you. You will grow bitter, you will hold grudges.
You turn violent.
You explode.
You turn violent.
Because you are now bottling up things that you don't want to discuss. And yeah, you know, some might argue that, talking about things doesn't really help. Yes, you talk about it, and then tomorrow you're the talk of the town. But so what? So is everyone else. People will talk about you.
People always talk. And
whether
tomorrow there's going to
nice
be something
person
else.
Or a bad person.
Tomorrow someone is going to talk about something else. You're going to be the
Even
topic
you
for the
yourself,
day.
you talk about other
Others.
people. So how dare you think no one is going to talk about you?
No, this is really concerning.
And for a police officer.
And for a police officer.
If the police has been doing too much lately.
But you know, it goes back to what Ashwin said this morning. He said most of these law enforcement officers don't become law enforcement officers because they want to serve and protect. It's because of the power that comes with being a law enforcement officer. And I have to say, I do agree with him. Because most of the times in our communities, we see that we uphold these people because in our minds, they're meant to serve and protect us, not harm us.
Yes.
So I do think that, you know, it's kind of like in America. In America, they send their police officers for medical evaluation.
Oh, nice.
Yes, and psychological evaluation. Because how do you entrust a gun to
With
someone who has mental issues? So they need to check whether or not you're mentally stable, because they know that things like this could happen.
I think that should be mandatory.
I also think so. I definitely think so. So that we can avoid things like this. But moving over to some light-hearted news, it is good news for Ed Sheeran as he wins the Thinking Out Loud copyright case. Ed Sheeran did not copy Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On when composing Thinking Out Loud, a US court has ruled. The British singer-songwriter had denied stealing elements of the song for his 2014 worldwide hit. Heirs of Gaye's co-writer argued that Sheeran, Warner Music Group and Sony Music Publishing owed them money for copyright infringement. Sheeran had said he would give up his music career if found guilty at the trial in New York. If that happens, I'm done. I'm stopping, he said when asked about the toll the trial at the Manhattan federal court was taking on him. Sheeran reportedly stood up and hugged his team after jurors ruled that he independently created his song. Speaking outside the court, Sheeran said he was obviously very happy with the ruling. It looks like I'm not going to have to retire from my day job after all, he told reporters, but at the same time, I'm absolutely frustrated that baseless claims like this are allowed to go to court at all. If the jury had decided this matter the other way, we might as well say goodbye to the creative freedom of songwriters, he said. Artists need to be able to create original music without worrying at every step on the way that said creativity will be wrongly called into question, he added.
I love it for him. Congratulations to him. It's always good when you prove right. It's always right. It's always good when you come out victorious, especially in something that could have potentially stopped his career.
Exactly.
So I'm happy for him. I love Ed Sheeran. I'm looking forward to more music.
Yes,
and
definitely.
Yeah.
But you know, I do agree with what he was saying. The thing is, with music, he says so himself that you only have so many chords that you can play around with and make a song out of, especially with like pop songs.
Yeah.
So most of the time, you find that, okay, something sounds similar, but it's not the same because you have the same 4 or 5, however many chords that you use over and over again. So it's kind of like if you have 5 numbers, you can only make so many sequences out of those 5 numbers. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's not the first time he's been taken to court over copyright infringement issues.
And did he win the last case?
He won the last case as well. He's been winning every court case for copyright infringement, which just goes to show people try to make money off of other people.
Yes, this is just a way of making money off him.
And it sucks and it's unfair because also how many, like, you can't possibly have heard every song in the world. So if I make a song and I play it to you, you've never heard that other song. And then now 5 years later, someone is like, oh, actually, you sampled this song. And it's like, listen, some of these songs, I don't even know them.
Yeah.
I can only do so much with 5 chords. And there are like
so many songs.
There's so many songs.
Every day an Amapiano song is being dropped. 500 Amapiano songs drop every day.
Every day. And how many times have we heard songs that sound similar? Like you hear
the
something
same
like,
beat. Especially this Amapiano song, it's the same beat. It's the drum, It's almost like, you know, the same sequence. But now we move over to our next story. Married women can now compete for Miss South Africa title. Now, the Miss South Africa organization has recently announced that it has changed the rules and made it possible for all women, straight, trans, queer, large, short, small, tall, or married, and with or without a child to take part in the competition.
I love this. I
with
love this.
or without a child.
Love,
if you
love
identify
this.
as a woman, fetch your crown,
Fetch
sweetie.
your crown, sweetie. I mean, I love this because for so long, these pageants have always been so discriminatory.
Yes.
They've always
It's a
been.
women empowerment competition, but yet if you
We're
have
bringing
a
down
child,
other women.
if you have a child, you can't compete.
And I'm not a fan of pageants in general because we are judging someone's beauty based off of whose standards. The person that's beautiful in your eyes is not beautiful in my eyes.
Yep.
We've had this conversation so many times. We're like, oh my goodness, she's so cute. And I'm like, is she? You know,
Yeah.
and there's times where I'm like, she's so beautiful. And you're like, is she? So with beauty pageants, I've never been a fan of them because we're bringing down other women. Because now you have these other women being like, okay, so what am I lacking? Why didn't I win? Is it because I'm ugly? Things like that. But we do love to see it. So, sweetie, go fetch your crown. Like you said, if you identify as a woman, go fetch your crown.
And other beauty pageant organizers, please take note and change also. Be progressive, move with the times.
Hashtag at Miss Universe.
Miss Universe, okay, they don't allow
Women
with children. So even if you win Miss South Africa with a child, you can't go to Miss Universe. You can't go to Miss World. You will just be
Miss South Africa. Now, next up, the Capricorn Foundation hosted a networking session on food security in Namibia. The winner of the first Food Waste Challenge, Sara Ekondo from Awana Foods, based in Oshakati, will speak about her business after the break.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master. Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Okay, thank you. So I am going to speak on innovation in food systems, and briefly, just to define what innovation is, it's basically the creation of better and more effective products and services in a way that is accepted by both governments, markets, and society. And then food systems refers to what Dyson defined earlier to be the entire range of actors and activities that are involved in the production, processing, and distribution of and consumption of food. Now, to achieve efficiency in our local food systems, we need efficient energy supply, right? Because this is what enables the application of, this is critical in the application of technology to food production. So it allows for the reduced drudgery in production. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with the way we produce in the North, whereby you will do the whole, and you'll probably be working for a whole hour, and when you look back, it's just 2 square meters of land that you're able to cultivate. Whereas in the use of technology, or with employing technology, we are able to do that at a much faster rate. And so energy supply also allows for the safe handling of food. I think we're also familiar with the crisis in South Africa with load shedding now, which really impacts on their GDP quite a lot because of the loss of revenue that is experienced because of that. Now, another key enabler in achieving efficiency is transport and communication systems. So this allows entrepreneurs a gateway to larger markets, both for the import of inputs that are used in production, as well as giving them access to larger markets. Because you know our producers are mainly based in outlying areas, right, which is like your rural and outlying fragmented regions, and they need access to the populated urban areas where the market is. So road networks and other forms of transport networks and communication networks are key and essential to that, to enabling them to access these. Now, I think Dyson alluded earlier to the importance of having sustainable food systems, and these are the ones that are able to preserve the, it contributes to food security and nutrition in a way that preserves the economic and social structures for future generations. So when we look at sustainable food systems, we are looking at them in the context of social, cultural, and environmental matrices. this acknowledges that we're not starting from zero. And I like what Dyson mentioned earlier to say we have to recognize local and indigenous foods, determine the nutritional value in them, and ascertain how we can group these foodstuff together to be able to form balanced diets. So what can we do with what we have right now to create balanced diets? And then another way we can do this is ensuring food security for everyone. We need to make sure that we invest in the technologies, the seed qualities, and capacity trainings that will increase our yields per unit area for especially our smallholder farmers. So this looks at planning, planting, growing, market, and harvesting, right? And then when we look at the local economy and environment, I especially looked at it in the form of once we have ascertained the nutritional value in our local and indigenous food products, we are able to say, what can we source from the local community, especially when you look at things like our social welfare programs, like school feeding programs. Why should we have those food parcels containing something like dastic, which is from South Africa, when we, for example, have Kalimbeza producing rice, or when we have Mahangu smallholder farmers that we can actually source produce from, empower them economically to be able to also grow and contribute their local communities, and through that, reduce the carbon footprint of the food items that we give or that we distribute through the welfare program. So there's a need for social policy framework restructuring to say, how do we acknowledge our local producers and also source from them, not only expect them to go to the market themselves, but in essence, if government is sourcing, then government should be a market for our local producers as well. So now I'm going to briefly speak about Awana Foods, which is my startup. And if I spoke earlier, I spoke about investment in seed quality or good quality products in order to improve our crop yields and output, right? But if we improve the crop yields, then we're definitely going to have an abundance of produce. And if we do that, if we don't invest further into the production chain in terms of if we have an abundance of produce in the market, what are we going to do with that in that moment? Because we know that food produce or fresh produce has a relatively short shelf life. So if we don't invest in the entire food chain to ensure that post-harvest revenue losses are reduced, then we're going to have a lot of losses, and we're going to discourage farmers from producing food which we still need. So in our Namibian context, I saw someone with an agronomic board t-shirt earlier on. We have, the agronomic board releases an annual, a calendar that, it's a planting calendar, so it indicates which seasons are favorable for which crops. So you find in a particular season, almost all the smallholder farmers will be producing tomatoes. In the next season, all of them will be having maize. In the next season, and so in some seasons, you have an oversaturation of the market with a particular product, and farmers experience a lot of losses in those products because they're not able to sell off their products before they go bad. So their revenues are reduced, and it also discourages them from further production.
To another exciting episode of Irongo Talk. Jou is die weer en vertel ook vir julle waar die vis heel moontlik gaan byt.
Hello everyone, it's weekend and everyone is ready to chillax, especially since it's another lovely long weekend for many people. So listen up to what's on this weekend. For those who'd like to start their Saturday on an interesting note, at 6:30 a.m. there's a secret sunrise event at the Village in Windhoek. Tickets cost $100 via web tickets. Then, as from 11, the Midgard Estate plays host to the Wobbly Wine Warrior Race. Enjoy a fun market with food, wine, gin and entertainment, or make a weekend of it and stay over at the lodge. This is sure to be tons of fun. At 12 o'clock, Sound for Sight hosts Fokov Polisikar, a music festival in aid of charity. This takes place at the Smoky Mare in Windhoek. Tickets are between $250 and $350 via web tickets. At 3, Queen Elaine hosts a paint and sip event at the Iris Boutique Hotel in Walvis Bay. Tickets are $300. And finally, at 7:30, Drag Night Namibia presents a monochrome Met. This is a black and white extravaganza taking place at the Loft in Windhoek. Tickets cost $120 via web tickets or $150 at the doors. Finally, if you haven't seen it yet, Cutting the Flame of Curiosity is exhibited at the Bell House Atelier and Gallery until the 13th of May. Have a peaceful, safe weekend. Until next time, goodbye.
Well, it seems like you're not going to run out of things to do this weekend. And tomorrow we are going to be bringing you Smell the Coffee. And we're also going to be live at NAPSO Athletics. On that note, we've reached the end of this wonderful, exciting broadcast. And it's time for us to say our goodbyes. Adios.